Good afternoon, Tallahassee. I am student meteorologist Allie McCord with your Wednesday edition of FSU Weather. Currently in Tallahassee right now, it's partially cloudy skies. You can see the sunset here over Doak, but it's being blocked by a lot of cloud cover. 77 right now in Tallahassee with winds blowing at 6 miles per hour from the south. Current temps here in Tallahassee. We got 79 really across the whole Big Bend region, 76 here down in Appalachia, 81 in Madison and 80 in Valdosta. Really warm temps for this Wednesday afternoon. Tallahassee radar, a little bit of ground scatter, nothing really that's actually affecting our area. Tonight's headlines on FSU weather: fall-like conditions to stick around, what's an atmospheric river, and potential return of tropical activity. All this and more on FSU weather.
Good evening on this Wednesday. I'm student meteorologist Riley Winch.
And I'm student meteorologist Josh Green. You know, we've got a great show for you today. A lot going on this week, especially weather-wise.
Yeah, exactly. We have a lot of dry weather in the southeast and pretty much along the east coast in general, but where that wet weather is where we need it, in portions of the west dealing with a pretty significant drought right now.
Right, and you know, every day on FSU Weather, we always have the drought monitor come up on the national, and we always see that the west, especially the southwest, has a significant drought, and right now that drought is especially in the northwest, and where is that rain going to come?
We've already seen quite a bit of that drought knocked out in portions of Washington, around the Seattle area, with how much rain they've seen, and it might be North California's turn in the very short term. So hopefully we can knock out as much of that drought as possible.
Exactly. You know, today we'll actually be touching on a topic that's occurring right now called an atmospheric river. That's what's contributing to that wet weather that they're going to be seeing, and hopefully that's going to help out their drought. Yeah,
we'll have a lot more on the atmospheric river and then how that is going to help out the drought. And we will take a look at the tropics right now, which are very quiet. Haven't had anything develop in the month of October. Compared to last year, that is some good news.
Yes, lucky for us, we haven't seen a lot of action out of the tropics, but you know, hurricane season is not over yet. We still have about a month left, so you need to keep an eye out for that, of course.
Yeah, one more name on that list. Let's see if we need to get to the supplemental list. Not really sure about that, but it's definitely a possibility. Wanda will be that next name if we see it, and we'll have a lot more on that later in the show.
Right, and you know, even otherwise from weather here at FSU this week, it is our homecoming week, so there's been a lot of different events going on campus, and that's just going to continue as we head into the weekend.
And the weather will be perfect for that. And speaking of our local weather, we'll head to Allie-Ann there at the wall.
Thank you for that, Riley. So here in the local area, or here over Tallahassee, we have a look over Doak Campbell Stadium again with the sunset right here. Very cloudy, you can't really see it that well, but it is still 77 here in Tallahassee. For our Tallahassee radar, we have a little bit of scatter over here, more towards the West Florida, some slight rain, but nothing really in Tallahassee. That's more ground scatter, so there's really no showers actually occurring. Today's almanac, we have a high of 83 and low of 54. Our average this time of year is around the same, and our record temperature for this time of year is at massive 90, but we're actually not far from that. But this low in 834, that's pretty incredible. Current temps here in the Big Bend, we have 79 across the region, 76 right now in Appalachia. Very normal temperature for this time of year, very average, just in the 70s is pretty normal. We do have some low dew points from this cold front that pushed through, but they are going to continue to rise in the coming week, or this coming week. 64 in Appalachia, a really nice 59 here in Tallahassee. Dawsonville and Thomasville are sitting pretty in the 50s. Well, I wish we were that low, but not actually. Our future radar, we have lots of clouds coming through. We do see a little bit of rain and convection coming in more West Florida around Panama City, Fort Walton Beach area. Maybe a few pop-up showers going to affect Tallahassee, but nothing very serious for our area. Tonight's forecast in Tallahassee, cloudy skies across the Big Bend, 60 up north or more here, and then we're going to see it into the 70s more towards the coast. But 65 in Tallahassee with cloudy skies everywhere affecting the Big Bend. Tomorrow's forecast, we're going to be in the 80s with partially cloudy skies around everywhere too. A notable 83 up here in Valdosta right behind my head. tonight in Tallahassee, we have a nice 64 degrees, cloudy skies too again. Winds are going to be calm. A great time to just get out and walk around on campus if you want to. And then looking ahead for tomorrow, mostly cloudy 82 with winds from the south. This week ahead, we have beautiful conditions in the 70s and lows in the 50s. But I'm going to go ahead and pass things off to Riley, and we're going to take a look at our national forecast.
Yeah, that really is a beautiful dry forecast here for the Tallahassee area. Great for all homecoming activities this weekend. Great for the football game. And something else that is great is pretty much the weather across the southeast and the east coast. It's very dry and warm enough where you're not needing to bundle up in places like Boston at 60 degrees right now, and still holding on to some beach opportunities down in the south. It's a little more on the wet side as you head towards the west, although our dew points are fairly dry as usual for that part of the country, and very comfortable conditions as you head out pretty much to the east of the Rockies as well. A little on the muggy side there in New Orleans associated with some rain showers, but a high pressure system is dominating much of the eastern seaboard. We do have an upper level low that is going to start to transition into some cooler temperatures out in the Midwest. And we do have an atmospheric river that is setting up that we'll explain a little bit later in the show in portions of northern California. Now we see that low pressure system in the heart of the country right now, bringing some drier air into portions of northern Texas. But where that rain really is persistent here is in the Pacific Northwest. Seattle picking up on hit or miss showers all day, every day, pretty much at this point, which is good news for areas that are experiencing a drought here in the Pacific Northwest. Here is that low pressure system we were talking about. Bring some pretty wet weather into areas like Minneapolis, Aberdeen, South Dakota, even some snow showers starting to pick up on the radar here in North Dakota. And lake effects, rain, a little bit. We have some rain activity going on around the Buffalo area. Buffalo Bills just lost this week. That's great for me as a Jets fan. And conditions will be clearing out though. So if you do want to head out and about there, you don't have to worry too much longer about this rainfall. Now into the southeast, we're very dry across the Sunshine State today, picking up on a lot of that sun. Somewhere where we're a little bit more wet is the New Orleans area. A lot of lingering showers and storms off the coast. This will be sticking for the next couple of days, so don't be surprised to see those hit or miss showers through Louisiana up into Mississippi and portions of Alabama, even Pensacola, Florida getting in on some wet weather there. Texas, we're staying on the dry side as we saw a little bit earlier, associated with that upper level low to the north, and that is making for some pretty nice conditions, staying warm. All that rain pretty much across the Mexican border this evening, not much to worry about in Texas itself. We do have a flash flood advisory for portions of northern California, but not really much weather happening across the rest of the country right now. Some chance for some storms as we head into the Midwest associated with that low pressure system and the storms that are coming up from the south into the northern Gulf, but don't really expect any of those to be severe. Into tonight, we stay cool across the Rockies, getting down to 40 degrees in Denver. Raining in San Francisco and Seattle in those 50-degree temperatures. We stay warm in New Orleans, 70 degrees there with a chance for storms. Miami is that warm spot there at 77 degrees. Into the day tomorrow across the west, we will be in the 60s, and across the east, we will be in the 80s, flirting with the 80s up there in Washington, D.C. Still some hot weather along the Gulf of Mexico, Allie.
Thank you for that, Riley. That was a great look at our national. Now we're going to take it back to the southeast and look at Florida. So Florida's kind of boring right now. We do have showers over in the Pensacola Beach area. A lot of convection happening in the Gulf right now, but only affecting this part of Florida. Florida's actually sitting very pretty right now with minimal showers. Great time to really travel across the Panhandle or really across all of Florida. Right now in Panama City, we do have mostly cloudy skies with a nice 77 degrees and minimal winds at 8 miles per hour. So looking at our Apalachicola radar, you can see these showers I was talking about in the Gulf over this way that are coming up and affecting Pensacola. But very clear area here for the Panhandle. St. Mark's and Appalachia have no showers, so it'd be a great day to go out on the boat, but nothing very much occurring for us. And then looking over more towards North Florida until Jacksonville, very clear skies again. And this is associated with this high pressure that followed the cold front that we had earlier this week. So we have very dry conditions with not a lot of moisture there to cause storms. Looking over at our Gainesville radar, Gainesville. But we have partially cloudy skies at 78. And then it's just great conditions to be out right now. These are great skies and great Florida weather. And then our South Florida radar, again, very minimal, nothing's really going on. So again, with this high pressure we've been seeing, you have a few pop-up showers, but are probably more ground scattered from the radar, but no showers affecting this. Looking at our Miami radar, it is currently 82 degrees in Miami with partially cloudy skies again, but a little bit higher winds, but that's probably going to be due more to Miami being on the coast, and so there's not a lot of ground cover to slow down those winds. Current tips here in Florida, we have 70s across the Panhandle, and then we're in the 80s all in the peninsula. So 77 here in Tallahassee, partially cloudy skies, and then 85 in Tampa, and then nice 82 and sunny in Key West. That's somewhere I wish I could be right now, for sure. Current dew points in Florida. I'm not sure how this is really possible, but Tampa's sitting at a nice 57, so very cool temperature, or very dry conditions in Tampa, a nice 59 here in Tallahassee, and then a staggering 70 in Pensacola, but that's mostly due to a lot of that rain they're seeing right now. Tonight in Florida, we have 60s across the Panhandle and then 70s in the peninsula. So a nice 69 in Pensacola, and then a notable 77 in Key West, but the islands are looking pretty. 77 in Miami and 69 in Orlando. Tomorrow in Florida, we're going to be in the 80s across the entire state except for Fort Myers and Orlando, where they're going to be seeing temperatures in the 90s. A lot of sunny skies in our area, but I'm going to go ahead and throw things over to the desk for Robert, where he can tell us what an atmospheric river is.
Well, an atmospheric river is essentially something we are seeing right now in the state of California. Northern California getting in on what is right now pretty wet conditions, and that's something that we do like to see, especially for that drought. And here's an overview basically of what an atmospheric river is. It is a band of heightened water vapor that is in the atmosphere, so it indicates you have a very moist atmosphere, but this is a very narrow strip of the atmosphere. So you're not going to be seeing this extend over a far distance, but it is very long. And when it's long like that, that is where you see persistent conditions. This rain is persisting for days. We talked about it on the show last night. We're talking about it on the show tonight. We'll continue to talk about it on each of the following shows we have this weekend. And this can dump a lot of rain and, again, last for a long duration. So the radar, we see some rain moving in. We do have a flash flood advisory in portions of Northern California because of this. And over the next couple days, we will see that rain persist. Notice we're in Thursday, still seeing that rainfall. Friday, we continue to see the rain. It even gets a little bit heavier with some higher elevation snow. So rain chances will increase as we head throughout the week, and that will mean we'll pick up quite a few inches of rainfall here, seeing potentially locally some places up to a foot. Majority of the region will see between 3 to 5, 5 to 7 inches, and those purple shaded a little bit less, 1 to 2. Now that is what we really see here with an atmospheric river. And it is something that is going to persist and hopefully knock out quite a bit of this drought that we are seeing in portions of Northern California. So it is a very welcome sight. We'll take this rain, hopefully not too much at one time that will cause flooding, but regardless, we are going to see a very different pattern change from what we're used to in Northern California. Now we're going to head off to the wall with Josh, who has a look at Mount Shasta. So that is some California weather.
Thank you, Riley. And yes, thank you for explaining exactly what an atmospheric river is, because, here on the Atlantic side of the U.S., we have much different weather conditions and patterns than they do on the Pacific, so it's always cool to see how their weather affects them. But today we're going to be talking about exactly the area that Riley was referring to, which is Mount Shasta, California in Northern California. Right now in Mount Shasta, it's a cool 47 degrees in the area right now. Eureka up at 58 down here in Redding. They're at 55, so much cooler temperatures than we're seeing here in Tallahassee. The dew points in this area right now, you can see they're a bit higher in Mount Shasta compared to their temperature, of course, because of all the rain that they're seeing in the area. This is also similar in the rest of Northern California as well. Redding a bit drier with a dew point of 52. Right now on the satellite, you can see this mixture of snow, rain, and even some sleet all over the Mount Shasta area right now because of that system that's moving across from the Pacific. So they're going to be receiving a lot of precipitation in a lot of different amounts. You know, it's going to be a lot of rain, a lot of snow. It's going to be very mixed in because we're not that far into the winter yet. We're still in fall. Zooming out a bit to the rest of the Northern California area and a bit to the west, there's still so much rain associated with that system that Riley was talking about, so the entirety of this viewing area has to keep an eye on that. Over the next 24 hours, we're going to see these conditions persist with a lot of rain and snowfall coming in. You know, because of some of the topographical features, this rain is just going to stick right here. It's not even going to move. It's just going to keep piling up as we move into Thursday afternoon, so a lot of rainfall is projected for this area. Seeing how many inches of precipitation we're exactly going to have, it looks like we're going to have areas up to 5 to 7 inches, especially right in the center of that Mount Shasta region that we were referring to. So that's a lot of precipitation for this drought-ridden area, which is going to be great for them. For tonight, we're going to have light rains with a temperature of 42 degrees with a light wind coming out of the southeast at 4 miles per hour. Now, over the next 3 days in Mount Shasta, these rainy conditions are going to persist. You know, these weather fronts tend to very stall out right on top of where they are. So this rain and possibly some snow probably won't get low enough for some snow, maybe on the mountaintops. But for Thursday, we're going to have a high of 53 in Mount Shasta. The low is also going to be about the same, so they're going to have a very normal weather pattern. As we head into Friday, those conditions are going to persist. We're going to still see a 90% chance of rain because of that weather system. On Saturday, those temperatures are going to dip way back down to 46. So as those temperatures tend to decrease, we're going to see a lot more snow, especially in the mountainous regions. But as we get a bit lower in the topographical map, we're still going to see rain. So that's it for Mount Shasta. As for now, Riley is going to give us a look more locally.
Well, back to some more Florida weather, I guess you could say, drier weather, not really getting in on that rain here in Florida, luckily, due to how much rain we have seen so far this year. We're sitting at about a 77-degree temperature, a lot warmer than over there in Mount Shasta, with cloudy conditions this evening. And if we look over Doak Campbell Stadium, interesting looking clouds. We're definitely on the cloudier side. A lot more clouds than we have seen earlier, seeing some more of that cloud cover move into the region, which is associated with the wet weather we have over the Gulf. Now, earlier today, we hit a high of 83 degrees. We woke up around 54. That's around where we usually are this time of year climatologically. And we see that here by 55 degrees, 7 a.m. We started to warm up with that daytime heating until we are in the low 80s where we are at now, before we start dipping back down into what should be the 50s again overnight tonight. Now, across the region, we don't have much rain in the immediate area. We do pick up on showers as we head a little bit farther to our west. And zooming out here, we see a lot of that wet weather making its way into portions of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama this evening. And that is going to stay away because we see the cloud cover start to increase a little bit here in the Florida Panhandle. But notice no rain showers are really popping up for the immediate Tallahassee area, which is some good news. Maybe Thursday could pick up on a little bit of something. We still have a lot of time to watch for that. And local temperatures across the region right now, we are in the mid-70s. This is perfect weather out there for you guys, so make the best of it before we get too cold next month. This evening, we are going to dip down into the 60s, so that increased cloud cover is going to keep us a little bit warmer than where we woke up earlier today. And we're seeing that 64-degree temperature, so it's going to be a little bit more bearable outside tonight if you are in shorts and a t-shirt. Now, into the day tomorrow, we'll warm back up into those 80s, maybe a little bit cooler farther to the west of our viewing area, where we're having more of that cloud cover. If you want to walk your dogs tomorrow, it will be a very good day for that. Waking up will be in the low 70s, upper 60s, 81 degrees by 3 p.m. So if your furry friends like the cooler weather, the morning is the better time to do that. Over the next week, we are going to see not much in terms of rain chances, maybe some thunderstorms popping up for our Monday, but overall, a great week to enjoy the homecoming activities, Josh.
Thank you, Riley. Now, we're going to shift gears here and see what's going on in the tropics. Luckily, right now, it is quiet. We haven't seen any active systems as of recently. Our IR satellite right now is picking up just some levels of convection. You can see down here in the Caribbean, there's a lot of rain cells firing up over here and shifting more towards the west off the African coast. You can see a lot of convection happening down in the south as well. But right now, here's those levels of convection. There's nothing tropical associated with these systems right now. They're just big rainmakers coming off the coast of Africa. But of course, we're going to keep an eye on them. Here in the Caribbean, here's a better look at that bigger system. This is also something that we're going to try to keep an eye out on. You may never know if it starts to pick up some circulation. You can see because of the water level vapors, this is some convection that could be occurring. Over the next week and the week after that, here are all the different systems around the globe that we're going to have to keep an eye out on here in the Atlantic. Right down here in the Caribbean, this is the big one that we're going to have to watch. That was that level of convection that we were just taking a look at. But we're going to head back down to the southeast with Allie-Ann now.
Thank you for that, Josh. Yeah, so here's a look at a lot of our southeast cameras we have access to. Partially cloudy skies here in Gainesville and Bowling Green, Kentucky, and then clear skies in Blacksburg, Virginia, and Atlanta, Georgia. So current tips here in southeast, we have 80s and 70s across the region. A lot of 80s here in Florida, but in the 70s more up. As this high pressure moves over, we have lots of clear skies, so not a lot of rain affecting the areas, and we just have a lot of warm temperatures. Looking at our dew points, a lot of low dew points, a lot higher up into the southeast compared to Florida. We have 54 here in Nashville, 44 in Charlotte, and 59 in Little Rock, 16 Tallahassee. We have a lot of these dry air coming in from the push over through the cold front that pushed through, so we don't have a lot of rain. But we are going to be seeing some more rain here over that's coming up from the Gulf, affecting around some of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and a little bit of Pensacola here in Tallahassee, or Florida. Taking a closer look to the peninsula, not much going on. That's really on the satellite. And then we have our rainfall forecast for the southeast. You can see a lot of rain occurring down here. Could get into the 10 to 15 inches, but mostly a couple inches or half an inch here across the whole Alabama, Jackson area. Our weather shift pattern, I want to look more at the temps and not the rain occurring. So you can see this temperature dropping up here, mostly due to this low pressure system that's more to the west right now, currently moving up down around like Wisconsin area. But that's going to bring some colder temps in throughout the week and then raise them back up right after they pass. Tonight's lows in the southeast, we have a nice 62 in Nashville, but kind of 60s across the region. We do see the 50s over here more to the east in our Atlanta and Charlotte area, but nice temperatures across the whole southeast. Thursday in the southeast, we see those temperatures rise into the 70s, 80s a lot more to the south. We're going to reach into the almost 90s here in Florida, but clear conditions for the rest of our area. Oh, but we do have just great conditions, mostly cloudy skies for all of it. We do see some chance of rain in Montgomery, and I think New Orleans might see some rain too tomorrow. But we have a great look at what's going to be happening in our region, and I'm going to pass things off over to Josh to give us a look at our lifestyle forecast.
Thanks, Allie-Ann. Yes, here's a great view of different areas around Tallahassee right now. Over in the Sportsplex, where all the FSU IM sports are played, they've got a nice sunset. You can even see kind of a pink sky because of those cloudy skies. Down here at St. George Island, looks like it's going to be a nice night here on the ocean, maybe a little sea breeze. Nice night to go sit out there and have a snack, maybe have a little picnic. Over here on Lake Bradford, very similar story. And over in Panama City, there's also a lot of cloudy skies. Here in central Tallahassee, here is Doak Campbell Stadium, where the FSU Noles will be playing this Saturday against Umass for the FSU homecoming game. Right now for our airport delays, Tallahassee, because we have no much weather makers right now, we don't have any delays. Delays are unlikely. Around the rest of the U.S., similar story. There are no delays. Cloudy skies, mostly for the rest of the cities. For your dog walking forecast, tomorrow at 7 a.m., you're going to be waking up to about 65 degrees. It'll be nice and cool, maybe a hoodie if you're not used to those cooler conditions. But as we make our way into the latter morning at 11 a.m., we are going to be at 75 with partly cloudy skies. So no matter what time of the day, it should be nice to get out there with your dog and go for a walk on campus or around Tallahassee. For tonight, for our stargazing forecast, it will be a full moon. The moon is actually going to be really big. I know I saw it last night and it wasn't even full yet, so tonight it will be in its full glory. And you know, we do have those partly cloudy skies, so maybe you can make your way south a bit where there's not as much light pollution. You may get a much better look at those stars and at that full moon. Our viewing conditions are still good though, because you know, we don't have any rain in the area. On Saturday at 12 o'clock, we do have our FSU football game against Umass. It is our homecoming game as well. Should be a great time. Hopefully we will get the win. At game time, it is going to be 82 degrees and clear sunny skies. We do play UMass, and it is the homecoming game. Over the next 4 days, taking a look at your school week planner, tomorrow we are going to have these partly cloudy skies continue. It is still going to be cool out. We're going to have a low of 64 in the morning, as you saw on the dog walking forecast. Partly cloudy skies as well as we head into Friday, but we are going to see things start clearing up a bit with a high of 84, low of 65 as well. So still pretty cool in the evening to early morning hours. But as we head into Saturday and Sunday, things start to clear out much more, perfect for that game day on Saturday. And we are going to have lows dip into 57 because of that front that we saw that Allie-Ann pointed out in the southeast that are going to bring a bit cooler temperatures to our area. And as we make our way into Sunday, those clouds may pop up a bit, but not much to worry about. For now, Riley and Allie-Ann are going to close up the show at the desk.
Yeah, well, that is absolutely a very beautiful forecast for this weekend. Homecoming week will be ending strong here at FSU, and hopefully the new team spirit will get us a win this weekend.
Yes, we have a lot to look forward here at Florida State this week. We have school off Friday and great weather, so I think I'm going to go out, maybe go for a walk, and just really experience what we have that we get off, thankfully.
Yeah, Friday should be a perfect day to get outside, go on a walk. Instead of being all cooped up in synoptics class, we can actually, enjoy our Friday evenings for once here as seniors.
Yes, very thankful for this weather, but also thankful that the out west is getting rain. That was much needed rain from that atmospheric river that's dove down over there.
Yeah, we've really been trying to get that rain, wish casting that rain, but now we don't have to wish cast anymore because the atmosphere decided to finally switch gears, make us dry where we've had too much rain, make us a little wetter where we need to be, which is some great news for really drought-stricken areas where it's an increasing concern.
I kind of just feel like the southeast just switched for the Pacific Northwest right now, but that's okay with me. I'm not complaining at all.
Change of seasons, we have a little bit of a change of heart from Mother Nature. Hopefully we're treated a little bit better this fall than we were earlier this summer.
Yes, very thankful. And I think these fall temperatures are going to persist. But go ahead and give us a follow on Twitter at FSU Weather.
And go ahead and like us on Facebook, where you may be watching us right now, or that's actually YouTube.
You can also check us out on YouTube at FSU Weather too.
Yeah, it would be great if we live streamed on Instagram as well, but that is just
that
for
is asking a lot of us.
pictures.
But we're going to throw things over to Josh to let us see a look at our 7-day again.
Yes, folks, we're going to give you one last look at the week ahead. Tomorrow, we're going to have partly cloudy skies, a 30% chance of rain. Hopefully, that'll stay out of our area. But as we head into the weekend, we're going to have cooler conditions, perfect for our homecoming game on Saturday. Clear skies with a low of 57 that day. Making our way into early next week on Monday. Got a chance of thunderstorms, something to look out for. But thank you very much for tuning in to FSU Weather. My name is student meteorologist Josh Green.